Hello, my name is Tom Stiles, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show number 64. Today, I pulled down an old radio of mine. The history on it was that it belonged to my wife's grandfather. When he was older and kind of shut in, so to speak, he bought this radio kit and put it together and listened to it basically until he died. And so she inherited it and she gave it to me, of course. And I've had it for probably 25, 30 years. That's how old it is. Anyway, it is a night kit that was sold by Allied Radio back in like 1965 time frame. And as I said, it came as a kit. It was a general purpose receiver, and it sold for about $35 for the kit. And then I think for like 40 something dollars you could get tools to actually put together, a soldering iron and pliers and stuff like that, in case you didn't have any of that stuff. So in 1965, that was a pretty good deal. And plus it gave you the concept of being able to put something together. So anyway, I took it off the shelf today. Like I say, it's been sitting for a long time. I dusted it off and carefully turned it on, hoping that none of the capacitors had dried out. And sure enough, it worked. So I want to show it to you today. So I'm going to move the camera down, hopefully to a better spot so you can see it. Okay, the secret of moving this camera is to make sure I don't get it too close, because it'll be out of focus. Which I've done in the past. I need to stick it close. 15 minutes of setting the camera. Proper location. Top heavy. There we go. All in the camera there. Okay, there it is. It has 5 bands. What's unique about this particular radio compared to like the cheaper Helicrafters in this time frame is it has a low frequency band that covers 200 kilohertz to 400 kilohertz. Now I'm not that familiar with that band, so I'm not sure what's was or is on that band. It does have 4 tubes, and it's power supplied through a transformer, which is fused. So especially for a kid, in case you wired up something wrong, that's really handy to have that transformer to drop the AC down to DC voltage. That's not going to hurt you too bad if you happen to touch anything inside. And it's fused. And if we go from left to right here, over here is a band spreader. Next to that is actually an antenna tuner. It's a capacitor, so you can adjust the antenna to make it look like it's the right length for the correct frequency you're on. Then we have the band selector for the 5 bands. We have a volume control, and we have a sensitivity control. So it does have capability of increasing the sensitivity, which, as you know, on shortwave, you really need that. And it has a big tuning knob. So between the big tuning knob and the band spreader, you can tune it pretty good. Now, keep in mind, this is for AM only, so there's no BFO. Also over here, I don't know if you could probably not be able to see it in the video, but it has 2 switches. One is an AVG switch, automatic volume control switch, to turn that on and off, and an ANL switch, automatic noise limiter switch, to turn that on and off. And down at the bottom it actually has a phone jack for headphones. The other thing it has is on the back it has an input so that if you are, keep in mind the vintage of this 1965, if you are transmitting on a separate receiver, and they call it a CW practice jack, and I believe what that does is it cuts out the receiver or the front end of this thing so that when you're transmitting, this doesn't get overloaded. So that's, again, kind of a nice feature. It has attached on the back of it at the top a long medium wave ferrite antenna, and then it has an antenna jacks, which are screw jacks, with a high and a ground, and it also has an S meter up here, and on the back it has a potentiometer to adjust that S meter in case it's off scale or something like that. Again, this is a kit, so it does have some adjustments that you would normally not have in a radio that was already pre-built. And it's single conversion. And what else? Did I miss anything? It has a on the side here, it has a 4-inch speaker, and that's about it. Now, what I'm going to attempt to do now, it's my time. It's 11 o'clock, so shortwave reception is not going to be that good, and plus I'm going to pick up a lot of noise during the day in my area. So I'm going to turn it on here. I turned it on earlier after I cleaned it, and nothing smoked, so hopefully that's still the case. Now, since it's a tube, it's going to take a few minutes for those tubes to warm up before you hear anything, and all the dials here, the potentiometers, were very noisy, and they're still quite noisy, and I didn't take the time to clean them with any tuner cleaner or anything else, so they're still pretty noisy. Let's see what happens here. Okay, there's something there. We're on band 4, and we're down to about 9 point something megahertz. And as you can tell, I'm picking up a lot of ambient noise. Matter of fact, unless I get a strong signal, that noise is pretty loud. Okay, I had this particular station on about a half hour ago when I was first cleaning it up, and it was coming in quite clear, but as the day progresses, let me turn the volume down, then I'll lose those stations until it turns night again. So I can use the band spreader here. There. I don't have any idea what this station is, but it's quite strong, and it's in English. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but the S meter is responding. It's giving me about an S9 plus. So amazingly enough, this radio, which I think was built, or actually it was purchased in probably the 1965 time frame, would make it over 40 years old. And I have not done anything to it. It's just been sitting on the shelf. I'm going to turn it off turn it off right now because I'm not what the condition of those capacitors are, especially those electrolytics. They could be pretty dried out. I've turned other older radios on and played with them for a while and left them on, and then about a half hour later I see smoke coming out of them because those capacitors finally shorted out. So I'm turn this back off. So anyway, this is, like I say, this is was sold by Allied Signal. Allied Radio. It was sold by Allied Radio back in 1965 as a kit for $35. So that's the review for today. Now, getting off of the review and on to a different subject, and I'll leave the camera on the radio because it's much better to look at than me. Some of the things that I've done is now that I'm retired and I've got more time for doing these videos, I would like to do more reviews on newer equipment. And one of the ways I would like to try to fund that is through Amazon.com. And what I've done is I've become an associate at Amazon.com. And by doing that, you can make a small percentage on each sale that people go through your website or websites and then go to Amazon. And by doing that, if you buy something and it doesn't cost you anything extra, there's no additional cost or anything. It's just like you went on Amazon, which is what you're doing, and you buy something, since you went through my website, I get a small commission. And then what I can do with that small commission as it accumulates, and what it does, it accumulates, the way I've got it set up, it accumulates on Amazon. So then I get a credit, and then if I get enough money, I can buy a radio or an antenna or something and do a review of it. So that's something I'm going to try. I'm going to post down here on the bottom of the screen my two websites. One is my blog at Blogspot, which I post all my videos and I post new and interesting articles I find, stuff like that. And then the other one, the second one, is you'll see the Amazon name in it. That is the Amazon store that I've set up. And so what I'm doing is I'm putting articles on that store that I think people interested in amateur radio or scanner radios would be the articles that they would be interested in: antennas, radios, scanners, other headphones, stuff like that. So it kind of helps you wait. I do all the wading through all Amazon, which is huge, and I pull in the things that I think you might be interested in. So it's kind of a favorites thing for my listeners. And so you go to that page, that Amazon page of mine, and you will see those things listed. And then all you have to do is click on one of those, and it will take you to Amazon. And then if you purchase that item or anything else while you're there coming from my web page, then I will get a small commission. So I definitely would help that. Appreciate that. And we'll see how it works out. I just thought I'd try it. I've seen other YouTubers do it, and I don't want... The other thing you can do is on YouTube, you can become kind of an associate, and when you do that, they put ads in front of your videos, and I don't want to do that. I mean, I'd just soon not get any commissions or anything than to do that. When I'm watching some of the videos that I've subscribed to, and I have to go through that ad, and every video you watch of theirs, because what I like to do is I like to watch a series that somebody has done. Well, every video you watch, you're going to get that ad. And right now, I was watching one. I think it was like 34 videos. 34 times I heard the Romney ad. So that got kind of old. So I definitely don't want to do that on my videos. That's fine for somebody else, but I just don't want to do it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please support my videos by going to those two websites, and we'll say bye-bye.